Today's guest is Randall Fowler from the city of Charleston, South Carolina. Randall has been turning heads not only with his great voice, but his impressionable songwriting. Welcome, Randall.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
What's
thanks
up,
for
guys?
joining us today. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for hollering at me.
Oh yeah, totally. So let's hear a little bit about your story, kind of your background, how you started with music, and kind of how you got to this point that you are at today.
Long story short, I'm gonna give it to you as fast as I can. So my name is Randall Fowler. I'm from Hopewell. I was born in Hopewell, Virginia. I'm currently reside in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been here since I was 10 years old. I'm 34 years old. I started out singing as long as as far as back in remembering how to talk is when I started singing. And we went to Fourth of July event in Fort Lee, Virginia in 1989, and Ricky Skaggs was performing, and he had Kathy Mattea as his opener. You're probably familiar with Ricky Skaggs. I don't know if you guys know who Kathy Mattea is, but she's comes from that early 90s, late 80s era,
Okay, yeah.
Great, one of the great female underrated artists, I believe. We're at this concert and I'm singing every word to every Ricky Skaggs song. My dad's holding me up in the front row. Next thing you know, Ricky Skaggs pulls me up on stage and he gives me a little microphone, lowers the boom, and then I'm singing Honey with Ricky Skaggs at 2 years old in front of all these military folks in Fort Lee, Virginia. And so ever since then, I feel like when my parents' friends would come over, they'd always use me as their little entertainer, and their friends would come over, and after a couple of beers, they'd probably be like, bring that boy out here, man, let's hear him sing. And I'd come out there with my little vacuum cleaner, guitar, and just singing all kind of country songs. Country music was all I've known, all I had known for the first 10, 8 years of my life around that time. I remember some friends bringing over some kids that were listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads. See you at the crossroads. You know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, there's different stuff out there. Like, obviously you're a naive child. You don't know what the hell's going on. So you start hearing more and more different things. And then you get introduced to the Motown and the soulful singers. You're like, oh crap, I think I got that in me too, So
yeah.
I've always been a singer. And then I went to high school and I always sing in the locker room at sports, varsity sports. My friends give me a hard time. I didn't really take it serious. I would just be over there minding my own business, singing a song. And they're like, "What? You're always happy, man. Like, what's wrong with you?" I'm like,
"What's wrong?"
I like singing, man. And after high school, I started working at this restaurant as in the dish pit in the kitchen. And I didn't have any direction in my life at the time, to be honest, and no college, nothing like that. And the guy that I would be in a band with for the next 10 years comes in the kitchen. He's a bar manager at the time. I'm washing dishes, singing. He's like, "Man, you ever been in a band?" And I'm like, "No." He said, "Do you want to be?" I was like, "Why not, dude? I don't have anything else going on." I get to the practice. It was my first time around like live plugged in powered instruments, and I was just blown away. The guitarist has been playing with me now for 12 years. He's still in my band, Justin Hodge. I just remember being like, "Oh my goodness, man, this dude is sick." Like it was just another, and then singing on top of it, you were like, "Oh my God, like you feel free because you have these loud ass instruments and you can just be as loud as you want,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, this is awesome." So cover song after cover song, cover song after cover song, and kind of like living in that. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And then, just playing music for money, and you kind of get burned out. And I think I did that for way too long, but I think the timing for me to do that was great because this helped me develop into the artist and the performer that I am today. You know what I mean? And I feel confident as any of them. I'll go anywhere in the world and give you guys my crafts or my rendition, So for the past year and a half, 2018, July, I released my first EP entitled The Recipe. I did all We used all tracks. I didn't have really the resources along with the budget to kind of like get a full band or go to Nashville and do that whole recording experience. So we just used tracks and we used the voice I have and we made it happen and it was very, very well received from the community and the surrounding. And I think on that, one of my songs, I guess, started hitting, somewhere up at 50, 60,000 streams on that EP, nice. The Recipe, the title track. And I did a couple videos for a song off their title, #1 Draft Pick, which I did at Williams-Brice Stadium.
Nice.
And that's South Carolina Gamecock Stadium. We're big time Gamecocks over here. You know, we got the Clemson cloud over our head, and that probably won't go away for a while, but, you know, we still stay forever to thee and support all that. But that video started getting, 35,000 likes and high 30,000s. And I was like, you know what? I'm really going to go for it. So been playing some shows around here. Like I said, my first show, I didn't tell you this. My first show as a solo artist, I got to perform at this Hand-to-Hand amphitheater over here right outside of Charleston. Hand-to-Hand's a small town my wife is from. And they have an amphitheater that can hold probably about 5,000 people. And I had a privilege to open up for Tracy Lawrence, my first show.
Oh my God.
As an independent artist. And we crushed it. And the fans came out and the support came out for me. We had you could see the people that knew who I was from the years and then the folks that came with me. And then you look out into the crowd and you see all these strangers that, think they might have heard of you, but everyone's cheering loudly and giving you a lot of respect and motivating you to this is where you need to be. You know what I mean? So that was awesome. And then my first show
is awesome
as a headliner was a sellout show. And here in South Carolina, and we have this venue out in Isle of Palms, South Carolina. It's called the Windjammer. And it's a legendary place. It's where you see guys like Hootie and the Blowfish driving and crying, kind of where they got their start at. And my first show, their max capacity indoors is 500. And my first show, as well as my last 3 shows that I played there, have all been sellout shows. And like I said, that's on my home front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think with what you guys have going on is going to help me out, along with every other artist that's trying to get out there and make a name for themselves and other demographics as well as their home front. So, man, this is kind of where I'm at right now. I've had a lot of opportunities since then. I finally decided to take my talents to the old Music City, where I found the producer, Mr. Grady Saxman, in Saxman Studios. And he has his hands tied into a lot of great projects, a lot of talented artists come through his studio. We went out on a whim. We sent him an email and we got there. He's like, "You guys are who? From where?" And I have a buddy of mine that I write songs with named James Chamberlain. And he helped me write the whole recipe. And he come to me with these songs and we just nailed them. I feel like like I said, we were working with what we had,
Yeah.
We get to Grady and the game changed, man. I feel like I had a lot more learning to do when I got there, So it's totally been a learning curve for me. And I'm trying to be the biggest sponge that I could be to get all this knowledge from those guys that have been doing it for quite a while. And, get into the studio head of it all.
Yeah.
Performing, honestly, I can't wait. It's like, let me go. You're holding me back. I don't want to do the studio. I just want to go play a show, Can I just perform? But there are a lot of things that, go into the studio that I think that sometimes you can overthink it, but if you get enough experience under your belt, and each time will be better and better. And that's been the case in my my situation. So getting back to the sound and you saying you love the sound, I think that's a sound we're going for. We've been flirting with different things, but I feel like we're totally dialing in on the one that we're looking for me personally. I feel like I'm like the Swiss Army knife though. I love country. I love rock. I love my blues and my R&B, my soul. I like rap. I get down with it all. So it was trying to take all of those influences Like, how the hell do you do that? You know what I mean? And put it all into one bundle and create you. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, with your voice,
that's where we're at.
Yeah, with your voice, I can see you doing everything. I mean, your voice is fantastic, man. You seem to have a good range, and oh man, it's fantastic. We were blown away by your vocals. So
it comes from the heart, man. Just know it's all real feelings.
Yeah.
I've never had any singing lessons or anything like that. I've been fortunate enough to have some experience around some talented musicians and some guys that have been able to steer me in the right direction, keep me grounded. So, to say the least, honestly.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So how's the pandemic been then for everything? Obviously, it probably threw a wrench in your cog there for live shows, like it did everybody. But how have you been dealing with that?
We don't really go too crazy. If an opportunity comes my way, I haven't been reaching out to anyone because it's uncertain, but I've had a few folks reach out to me, and I kind of played it like that's how I've been playing it. I haven't been too pushy, and I want to be respectful, you know, and just like, you know, I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing in my community and not influencing people to, you know, get into the mess, if you know what I'm saying. And I personally have just been taking it day to day. I was lucky to do one that had 250 people, ticketed event outdoors at the Windjammer. They have a little sunset beach on like a little volleyball court. They just remove the net and then you build a stage and you got a nice little setup out there. But it was socially distanced. I thought we did a really good job at keeping everybody safe. And I have an opportunity coming up. I haven't posted it yet, but I think they're going to go ahead and release the information either today or tomorrow. But we're doing one at the Firefly Distillery.
Oh, cool.
Firefly Sweet Tea Vodka. You guys heard of the Firefly? So
we have Firefly. I don't know.
We have it's Firefly Distillery. We have one right here in North Charleston, and they have a large field, you know, open area that they have promoting companies and event companies come out and host large events. But they're doing a roll-up stage, you know, the pop-up roll-up stage, and then they'll have 200 squares that will allow 4 fans to come out. And
wow, nice.
We'll do probably $25 a ticket, and 800 people will be able to come. But stuff like that, you know, it was kind of like what I've been going after. I see a good bit of small businesses have the acoustic night where they have one artist come in and everything's socially distanced and safe. I don't, you know, the people are ready for this to be over. And I can tell, I can see it in some instances. And I feel bad because, you know, all this darkness is trying to shadow us and you know, people need music in their lives. And we know that it's not just music that you can stream. We know that it's music that you can actually be a part of and feel and see and hear and be in that room and feel that vibe. It's more than just a recording to the fans, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So hopefully soon we'll get out of it. But I don't have like, as far as like the pandemic, I really haven't been booking shows. Just I feel like I've been being creative like my peers. Yeah. And I can't wait to hear all the cool music that everyone's been doing here.
Yeah, that's coming out.
I'm excited.
I got a couple recording.
I have recorded. I have some songs loaded and locked. I haven't really traveled much. I went to Nashville twice during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I just finishing up a couple of things, and we're still waiting on the mix back from a couple of other projects, but trying to get more into do some more writing with some guys out there. And I think there's a strong network of guys that I've been blessed to be a part of that are, like I said, man, it's more than just, it takes more than just one person, man. I feel like you have to support your friends too, man, in this business.
Totally.
So this is perfect.
Yeah, it takes a team.
I like what you have going on, man. I think I'll benefit from this too as long as as well as my friends, and it'll help bring people together too, man. Because if you because sometimes like there's places where, you know, I don't go out and see my friends all the time, and it's because I don't go out a lot anymore like I used to, and that's just being honest. But if I did see something come up where I could plan ahead, Facebook and stuff does a great job. But like a lot of these guys that play every week, it's kind of hard to keep up with. And if I can go somewhere and be like, all right, cool. If I can follow one of my guys on there, and I would be able to, manage my schedule a little bit better to come kick it. So
yeah, totally, man. Well, we hope it helps with that. No, that's awesome. So you're up in Nashville. You said several times in the pandemic and everything. How's the community? What's the difference in communities, I guess, between Nashville and Charleston?
It's simple. In Charleston, I can call 50, or in Nashville, I can call probably 50 people to write a song.
Yeah.
Here in Charleston, in my community, I don't know who all just writes songs and who all just writes songs and performs, but I know I'm on my right hand 5 people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. And I'm super new and fresh to that community, but I'll tell you this: when I went there for the first time, and I was around guys that I have had the privilege to see on my Instagram, my social, and kind of have my window into Nashville. And those guys are just so nice, and they don't make you feel like you don't belong in any situation. It was all like, hey man, good job. Or it was all like, hey man, I like that. Or it was all like, hey, your voice is great. Or it was always an uplifting, encouraging, word from one of those guys or gals out there. And I mean, there's some talent. They're incredibly talented people. But then, you start listening to the music and the vibe of the folks around you, and you realize, for me, I was like, man, I belong here, man. I need to be here more often. I just, this really exists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's places like Live Oak in Nashville, just to, want to shout those guys out, along with In the Round podcast and Whale Tail Media, which is the hat I'm wearing right now. Wales.
Oh, cool.
At Whale Tail Media, he does a lot. He's done every one of my music videos except for one, and he's got his hands tied up with some guys. I met him in a wedding here in Charleston, and our journey was kind of kicking off at the same time. And now he deals with the same folks that I go to Nashville to visit. So it's kind of a small world, but we know that's where we need to be, because that's where we're in like the nucleus of all the goodness.
Yeah.
But now it's time to get creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like each time I go to one of those events, even as a fan, and if I'm not playing and I just attend, I always come back home inspired, because it does something. It's magical, man. That shit sounds so cheesy, but that's the feeling. I'm passionate about this shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, totally. Oh man, you should be.
And we plan on getting there soon. This pandemic's been wild, so it's messed up Randall Fowler's 2020 scat around town, and it's kind of held us back from moving. So, but since I've lived in my house here in Charleston, I bought this house. I started paying on this house 3 years ago, and I said, I'm not doing anything. We're gonna sell it. We're gonna move to Nashville. But over this pandemic, I've taken it upon myself to do little projects, and not just the what ifs and stuff like that. Just go ahead and do it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make your house a home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's a good point, actually. So one thing that I like to ask the artists, because we all have, kind of different stories. Everybody has different stories with this in particular. So you said you're looking to move out to Nashville then at some point? Is that kind of what's
Absolutely. Going on? I think if you want to pursue a career in music, you need to move to Nashville, because each day when you wake up, it goes back to the last name. You're going to be able to call someone and set something up. Say you had something scheduled and you couldn't make it that day, or say someone had something scheduled.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make it that day. They call you. Hey, I had this right. I couldn't make it. It's with Dallas Davidson. Oh, they're going to let me come in there? I don't know if that works like that, but I'm saying you never know, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the closer you get,
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally. So what's something then that so yeah, you've talked to a ton of people in the music community. You've worked with a ton of those people. It's seems like it's been really good to you. It's treated you well. They've treated you well. It seems like it's a good kind of mutual relationship. What's something that you kind of struggled with at some point that sucked to go through, I guess, or however you want to say it, but in hindsight, you're really glad that it happened. You know, you didn't want it when it was happening, but in hindsight, you're glad it did happen musically or with any of these people.
I mean, towards the end of that, when I got kind of burned out on the cover stuff, I almost kind of hung it up and just said, I just need to go do something different. And my buddy called me and he was like, hey man, I got this dude that wants you to come sing on some rap hooks. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go do something different. You know, I want to have some fun. I love this shit. I want to go do it and have a good time.
Yeah.
I go in there and we did the song and then we start talking and he's like, man, I got some country songs I'm working on. I was like, all right, cool. Let's check it out. All right. Yeah. He started letting me hear it. I was like, all right, I can do something with this. You sure? You sure? Yeah, man, whatever you want. You got it. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, well, let me have that. And then that's how we created the Recipe EP. But cool, I don't know. As far as I struggled writing songs for the longest time. And I couldn't figure it out. I don't know why. I just couldn't write a damn song. I don't know why. I just couldn't. Yeah. It hurt sometimes. Like, what am I doing? How do you do this? Like, I guess I just didn't understand. We started messing with this project with the Recipe. Next thing you know, I start getting involved with other people and I don't know. It's hard to explain. Songs just start coming out now. It's crazy.
Quick. Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you have any scheduled releases coming up that you're excited about, or?
I just released a single December 11th titled Coming Home One Way Road. I think that's my best song. It's a change of pace song.
Yeah.
Personally, I love that song. I have a couple songs that I haven't released yet that I think could be even bigger for me than those. That was my first song that was accepted to an editorial Spotify list. And I'm proud of that. Nice. That was my first one. It wasn't my first song I've written, but it's the first song I've written with multiple people.
Yeah, okay.
And cool. I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of those guys. Those are the great guys. Shane Harrelson and James Chamberlain. We wrote that messing around in the studio one night.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something for early February, but now it's looking like it's going to be closer to March, middle of March, end of March. I got some cool stuff, man. I'm in the process right now. My producer's like, don't do it. But I'm like, bro, I have fans that need my music. I need more than just one single to drop. And I feel like, and it's like, it's more like, hey, man, but that's more content. You can just drop a single and I'm going to write more songs. I ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to release a body of work. And I feel like since those guys at Big Loud dropped that double album, that's kind of pushed me, inspired me to do more as well. So
are you working on any, you thinking of any albums anytime soon, or are you doing EPs?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to do EP or an LP. I'm not EP right now would be realistic, and I have every song for that right now. Nice. Album, it would take me another month or two to figure out which songs need to go on.
To put on.
But there's more, and I'm inspired each day, and I'm blessed, and the situation that I'm in, as far as I've been able to work through the pandemic. I've been a driver at FedEx for 8 years now.
Oh, nice.
And, it hasn't affected my job.
That's good.
So here I am. Now I get Mondays off, so I'm inspired on Mondays. I have a beautiful home, beautiful wife, and this room I'm sitting in inspires me. In the morning, I got the blinds down right now, but when I let those shades up, man, all this natural, beautiful light comes in here, and it just feels right, man.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's good. That's where you want to be, know, right there. Yeah.
So Randall,
but we're gonna get there. We're gonna recreate this in Nashville. So
yeah, there you go, man.
Awesome. So you were talking about you used to play in a cover band, and you got kind of burned out in the cover things. Kind of tell us about what the experience was to finally get to play your own music, and kind of compare playing your own music finally to playing covers and how it used to be.
So in the cover band, we did put out some original music, and I think it's probably one of the best rock albums never heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The name of the group was Ellen Drive. Obviously, you could see that there were. I didn't have much experience in the studio, and that's what I was talking about. I gotten better at that.
Yeah.
And So it's funny. So during that cover band, I was playing originals and people were digging it. It just didn't hit as hard, in my opinion, as, you know, and those were bar gigs as well. And I'm not taking anything away because that's what you need. I'm saying on the level where I aspire to be and the opportunities that have came to me, playing an original song at a venue, opening up for a guy with your name on it, a guy like Tracy Lawrence, and playing your songs for the first time. And it was very emotional for me before I walked out on stage, because it was, I put in a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
So it was very rewarding. I'm a very proud man. So that experience of playing your own music, I'm telling you, man, especially in the first show, no one was singing the words because they didn't know it. Fast forward to 2 years later, every show is a blessing, especially, you know, and the coolest part is when you have the kids, you know, coming out to the shows that they can get to with their parents, and they're all lined up in the front row, Indian style. Singing your songs back to you, and then you stop and then you hear all the kids singing. You're like, man, this is ridiculous, you know? Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, and it's amazing.
Man, that is cool. That sounds like you got a good following. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Sounds like you got good fans. Yeah, that's cool.
You just have to be a good-hearted person at the end of the day, my brother, and just
totally
be kind to people. That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah. It's all about people, right? I mean, that's the thing, that music kind of shows how people are, you know, and I think that's why it's so important for it to, like you said, be heard and, you know, not just heard on a recording, but experienced. It's like musicians are showing the most, I guess, intimate part of who they feel they are, you know, to all these people, and it resonates with these people. And I think that's so important. So yeah, I love that. I love that you got some stuff coming up and everything. Have you done live stream shows by any chance, or?
And during the pandemic, I live stream shows. I've done a couple appearances on some other people's platforms that they've let me take over here and there. I just been creative. I'll throw a couple videos on. So right now, you guys should follow me on TikTok, because I'm about to go bonkers on TikTok. So my wife and some of our friends are like, man, you just got to keep making videos, bro. I don't care, but it all has to be the same, you know, singing videos. And so I just opened the flood the other day, and when I get done with you guys, I'll probably work on 2 or 3 videos or snippets right now. But I'm going in on TikTok. Right? I'm gonna give it a shot, you know.
What's your TikTok name? What's your username?
Randall Fowler. I'm Randall Fowler Music on every platform you can possibly think of. Awesome. My webpage is randallfowlermusic.com. You can go on there. I have bio links to all the music. It's also linked to my Instagram. You can go on there and check out photos and all the latest news on what I have going on.
Fantastic.
All my social media pages. I say I'm on Instagram the most.
Okay.
For now, until I'm on this TikTok thing. And then Facebook, and I get a lot of like Facebook traffic, man. Surprisingly, I mean, I guess everyone else does. I don't know how that works. I get a lot of my you know, traffic is through my Facebook page. Most of it.
Well, cool, man. Well, hey, we'll put your links when we post the video. We'll put your links down below so people can go follow you. But like you said, it's super easy. Randall Fowler Music, huh? On everything. So
you guys basketball fans?
Football fans?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, basketball. Bowie is, yeah.
You got a little squad over there, boy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh?
Oh,
I'm looking forward to those battles with the Nuggets, man, again, like last year.
Yeah. Oh man, no, it'll be good, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on our show, man. Thanks for taking the time to tell us a bit about yourself and what you got going on, and listening to you know, kind of what we're doing here too. And we look forward to speaking with you again, man. This has been awesome. I don't know, Bowie, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask?
Yeah. Since you have a lot of experience and, you know, you played a lot of shows and done a lot of things, what's one piece of advice you'd give to any other artist out there who's just starting up, or maybe in this point of life you're in right now?
Always be grateful and thankful and nice to your bandmates. You want to make sure that they're there because they believe in you. I don't want to say that I like things my way, honestly. I'm like a perfectionist, and it's to a fault. But at the same time, you know, there are going to be mistakes, especially when you're rolling. You're especially if you come in with some material that you've recorded in a Nashville studio with some, outer worldly musicians, and you bring them back to your guys. Heck yeah, you want to have a band good enough to be able to play that music. But at the same time, man, it's going to take that gentleman a little bit of time, male, female, a little bit of time to figure that music out. Do a lot of practicing. Always be nice to those guys. Always make sure that, that they know. Don't be fake about it, but make sure that they know that you care about them, that you want them to be there and you want them to be a part of it. Because at the end of the day, they believe in you and your product and what you have going on and your brand. And that's the reason why they're there. I've had a couple spats that weren't major, but like a couple of disagreements, and I wish I would have handled them a little differently. That'll never happen again. You know what I'm saying? And I even called the gentleman whenever we decided not to do this anymore together and asked him what I could do better to better myself, and I apologize, and I feel like you should always try to work on growing yourself and finding that little message hidden within all this shit. So
yeah, totally.
Be nice to your bandmates. They care about you. They want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And this may not pertain to anybody. Everybody might get along with every one of their bandmates, but we're as males, and especially if you have a bunch of alphas in a room, you know what I'm talking about. You got the guys that know what they're talking about. So you might butt heads every now and again. So just be agree to disagree.
Yeah, get along. That's a good bit of advice for sure. Oh, that's fantastic, man. Well, hey, thanks again for your time, man. We'll have to catch up sometime, and good luck with your new stuff coming up and your new shows, man. That's awesome. I hope it just keeps going. We hope the shows just get back online like normal, and that your career just keeps going up, man. So good luck.
I feel like thank you guys for your time today. Thanks for reaching out to me, and thanks for filling me in on the keeping me in the know, man. This is hip shit. And I want to be a part of it.
Sounds great, man. Thanks.
Another thing, man. Keep being kind and nice, and keep spreading your light. And I think you guys are doing great.
Hey, thanks, man. You too. Well, hey, thanks again, man. It's great talking to you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. So
please be in touch, man.
Fantastic.
Hey guys,
you too.
Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Hey, you
Let
too,
me know if
man.
you need anything else.
Sounds good. Hey, you too. Thanks. Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Later.
We'll see ya.